So I talked to actually like some grown men today about black fatigue, and they feel it. And then they were like, we don't actually feel with you because we don't feel threatened. Like there's not an intimidation level when they're actually talking with me. They feel like they're at mutual grounds of respect and integrity. And I only know that because I asked the question, like, why don't you feel as if like you have to have your guard up? They're like, well, you don't talk that way. And that's very sad to hear somebody say that, just to be quite honest. And it kind of goes into where, we're going to watch some of these videos on black fatigue because they showed me a couple to where they've had these interactions and it was pretty bad. And let's go through it. Let's just let's dive into this. Um, there we go.
Thank God.
Crazy. She thinks so. I've never been scared.
I'm like fucking scared.
Groups of white.
Fucking scared of what? Their credit scores?
Their credit scores. I mean, it's so true.
Call out niggas and identify the nigga problem we have in America. We aren't going to last very long as a people. There are three different types of niggas in the black community. The first type is the hood nigga. These people are overly emotional, low self-esteem, low impulse control. I mean, these are the niggas you see at the gas station just sitting outside the motherfucker with nothing else to do.
They may work a job, but it's at fucking Wendy's.
They've been working at Wendy's since they graduated high school, and they're in their late 20s. These are the type of niggas that buy what they want and beg for what the fuck they need. They offer absolutely nothing of value for the rest of the black community. These typically are black men with no purpose and no value, no direction, no ambitions or goals to build or create anything for themselves or for the rest of the community. These fucking spooks are scared of the real world. They're scared of growing the fuck up. These are the type of niggas who will sit here and shoot and kill, fight, and get angry at another nigga living on another block.
And that's so true. Like in the black community, so much it's violence.
Niggas are the worst people on earth.
If something doesn't go their way,
his movement is so
it's just
effortless.
out of control. Oh my goodness, this is wild.
The final boss of fatigue. His movement is so effortless. This is a man that knows who he is, and I respect that. What am I gonna do today? Stand in the middle of a crowd with a camera facing me, act like my natural self in front of a guard, annoy as many people as possible. That's what I'm gonna do today. Why not?
That's like a $2,000 camera. Out of control.
I just saw a white girl on my For You page talking about the word black fatigue. She said, "I'm so glad we're finally talking about this. We as a society are sick of y'all." The whites are now saying...
you're making people...
What if their interactions with...
are kind of... it's not racist. It's just they're seeing a problem. They don't know how to actually address it and handle it because even black people don't even want to have to handle black people. That's a very big thing, is so many black people that get out of that emotional like situation of fatigue, this like continuous victim mentality, woe is me mentality. Once they get out of that, it's very hard to pull people out of that because then they look at those black people as white people now. It's like, since you're not having the same behavior as us, you are not one of us anymore. Which is funny because they say you're not one of us as if we did something wrong, but I want you to have a better life, but yet I'm a detriment to your life. And it's just like horribly backwards. They alienate themselves, black people, and there's probably white people out there, but I'm talking about black people specifically because that's me. And yo, Crowder goes off.
Black people in general are quite negative.
So same thing, give the same thing in reverse. What about black people who've had continuous, not only historical, but personal experiences where they've been at the wrong end of white people?
Here's the thing, I'll tell you.
And then we get told that those stories are invalid.
No, you're not.
Yes, we do.
You're not.
I've been personally told my story was invalid.
I'll give you an example. And by the way, the only thing that keeps my heart protected from racism, by the way, the only thing that protects me from not wanting to go out and kill the person who shot Charlie Kirk, because by the way, there are two people on earth who know what it's like to sit in that chair. Me and him. And I just did it at SMU and had to have entire bulletproof glass and an army to go in and have conversations, right? So I'm a little bit pissed off about it. Also, people have tried to take my life many times. So I don't really have a whole lot of sympathy for anyone, white or black, saying, oh, must be, yeah. You ever have someone show up at your house? You ever have someone show up at your house when your kids are sleeping with weapons being swatted? Like, we've been living through this for a long fucking time and told you don't know what it's like. I will say this. My faith is what has protected me. My faith is what has protected my heart from becoming racist. But I've had a lot of negative interactions. That's why I'm sitting here. We'll have to edit this because just the word. By the way, if you want a relaxing vacation, stay home. Don't go to. I know, but my kids love it. So I go there, okay? And I'll tell you this. You have like this magic wand thing, you run around the hotel and it opens up chests. Wow. And I'm sitting there, and I'm sunken eye, and there was a black guy next to me, obviously a dad with like his daughter and his son. And I just kind of looked at him, we looked at each other in the face like, yeah, we know. This is exhausting. And I know we have a lot in common because his wife or woman is probably in the room because he's there with his kids by himself. I was too. But then we were there at the water slides. My kids are 3.
Before we carry on, guys, I need to tell you about work because and jumping and they'll fix it. And so we can eat foods like
totally. But basically what the video was is the short and gist of it is that the black kids were pushing the white kids out of the way to get first down the slide. And not excuse me, not trying to be holistic about it. Like, they weren't being nice, they weren't being polite. There was no humility to it or humanity. It was a straight, I'm gonna say it, animal tendency as far as like, I'm first, since you're gonna be weaker than me, I get to claim this first. And the parent didn't do anything. And to where Crowder had to then tell the parent, hey, what are you gonna do with your kid? They're causing a ruckus, like they're behaving inappropriately, very animal. They're very territorial. They want it their way. Everybody else has to suffer. And that parent got mad, like, hey, don't tell me how to raise my kids. It's like, how do you think this is acceptable? And that parent being mad that they were told, hey, your kid's pushing, shoving, getting kids out of the way so they can do whatever they want when they want. That's a very bad habit. And that's where I tell a lot of black people is, if you want to be taken seriously, you have to take yourself seriously. You have to fit in with society, or you have to then get pushed out in your own world to where you don't fit in anywhere, where then you're treated as an animal, an outsider, an outcast, whatever negative connotation that you want to have, that's what you're going to be. And you can't be mad because you set that standard. You set that image in people's head. You set that behavior that they have to then accept, not because they want to, but because they have to if they want to protect themselves and their loved ones. Like for me, and I'll just finish it with this. If you wear baggy pants under your butt, you can't enunciate words, you speak not just slang, but like as if you haven't read a book. And I say that because I used to have horrible English. I wasn't able to like read and write back when I was getting back in my mom's care from my dad. And I had to grind to get back to speaking like this, because I did speak quote unquote ghetto. I was slanging. It was just like, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and you couldn't really understand me. It was like I had peanut butter all in my mouth, but that's just how I was raised around those types of people. And I didn't know a way out because when I was that young, below, I was like 10 years old when I got back on my mom's care. But once I became an adult and then I went back to visiting those friends from in the early days, I couldn't associate with them, not because I didn't want to, but we were so mentally different that I had no place in their life because they didn't want me to be in their life. And that's where I tell a lot of black men is that if your behavior is that of an animal, how can you expect another human to then fit into your life and want to be a part of your life? Vice versa, I'll want you to be in their life and be very namaste. And I tell people that. and it's crickets. They stare at me and then they become angry because two things. First one, I called out something that they themselves now have to think about that puts them in the spotlight as not being in a victim state, but as being an assailant. How can you expect somebody to want to be around you, want to help you, want to listen to you, but you are always attacking them? Two, how can I take you seriously and help you, but you yourself are not helping yourself at any level, whether it be getting your high school diploma, getting your GED, stop buying stupid shit like $400 pants, $500 shoes, $1,000 shoes, $200 shirts, $700 jackets. Like, if you, like, even from my standpoint, and I tell a lot of people this, white, black, Asian, whatever, if you think you impress me because you're wearing $1,000 worth of clothes, yet you have Burger King salary and you don't have anything in savings, you don't have an emergency fund, your car is not paid off. I don't care if you own a house or rent a house or rent an apartment, bought a condo, whatever. But if you're not in a forward driven path, I can't take you seriously because you spend your money faster than you get your money. Um, and that's what I have to say to the black males is that you have to go back. What was that one? The Tulsa massacre. Very interesting. Tulsa massacre. And let me see if I can find the book. Yes, I read this one. Here we go. So I'm gonna end it with this. Read this book if you. Oh, so sorry. It's $20. I think it's on Amazon. Not Amazon, but Kindle and stuff like that. Audiobooks. It talks about the Black Wall Street, how these Africans were able to do finances. They were in the financial district. Um, they were carpenters, just all blue collar jobs, stuff like that. Contractors, uh, mechanics, construction, banking, real estate. Like they were actually everywhere. So I try to tell black people to buy something that shows us in a positive forward motion. That's all we got. And if we're not going to do that, we are going to disappear because we're acting in a way to where we shouldn't be here. It's like any animal in the land. If it is a detriment to the plains of Africa, let's say, and it's killing everything, it is a just locust to the wheat. It has to be removed. So I'll leave it at that. Um, Tulsa Massacre. I'd recommend reading it. It was a good read. It was sad, obviously, with what happened to Tulsa for Black people, but it started changing my mental state because it made me believe that I didn't have to continue being a ruffian, an animal, a victim. It gave me. It was a start of giving me a little bit of power that was enough to start getting my gears going and kind of getting my engine able to rev. Um, Way better than what I learned in school. This is something I think every black person should read and learn about because it was so insightful that it was great. Otherwise, I'm Norman, and let's just keep going with the forward standard. And you guys take care and Hopefully you're on a better state.